Leaders get mighty tired really quickly when team members come to them where these two team members have not resolved a conflict with each other, and now they're coming to the leader, and the leader often doesn't know what to do. Today I'm going to walk you through a process that these two team members can be doing with each other to resolve their conflict, and it's called collaborative escalation. Now, there's a companion video to this one already in Revitalab, and it's called Hot Potato Leadership, because there are certain things that a leader needs to be doing to make sure that they're not the problem that's causing the team members to be in conflict. This video is about when it's not the leader's issue, that it really is an honest conflict between two team members or a break in expectations. What is a conflict management process that they can do with each other? But even in this video, we're actually going to start with the leader because it's the leader who has to set up the expectations to do this process. So collaborative escalation goes like this. The leader tells the team that they are expected to use this process when they have differences with each other. If a team member comes to the leader to resolve the issue, the leader will not discuss it with them before they have done the collaborative escalation process with the other team member first. There's one caveat to this expectation. A leader can be open and talk with a team member before they do the first step in the collaborative escalation process, if the leader, what they're doing is coaching the team member to actually go and do that step. So what's really important is that the leader isn't taking away the process that the team member needs to be doing. They're not grabbing it out of their hands. That's what's really critical. So let's say there are two team members, Bob and Jill, and they have an agreement on the deadline when Bob gives Jill certain deliverables so that Jill's team can deliver on their commitments for making the product or servicing their customers or producing some other essential result for the organization. The deadline comes and goes, and Bob does not give Jill's team what he committed to. Collaborative escalation means that Jill's first response is to get back to Bill in a live conversation where she mentions the break in that expectation, working to get them both back on track with their agreement. So Bob commits to another deadline. What happens if Bob misses that second deadline? Jill's next step is to call Bob again and have another live conversation to get Bob's team to deliver what they owe Jill's team. Now, this conversation, as well as the first one, can be quite congenial and collegial. Jill can ask if there's anything she or her team need to do to help Bob and his team make the deadline. Or was there something that Jill's team failed to do early on that is getting in the way? This conversation can be one of discovery and may in fact create a more durable agreement between the two departments. But sometimes, even with two congenial and problem-solving conversations, Bob still doesn't deliver to Jill what is expected. Now Jill's third move is to return to Bob before collaboratively escalating to their boss, Alicia. What that means is that this time, Jill doesn't ask Bob to get on board. Instead, she lets him know that she is going to talk with Alicia about this impasse, and she would like Bob to join her in this meeting. It's important for both of them to talk through the impasse with Alicia and that they both understand and can articulate each other's viewpoint as well as their own. There's something that's holding up Bob's department. It may not be something Jill or even Bob can do something about. It may only be Alicia who can break this impasse. And if it's a performance management issue with Bob, now with this escalation, Alicia knows more viscerally how Bob's lack of responsiveness to Jill's department is getting in the way of organizational results. But what if Bob won't go with Jill to the meeting with Alicia? That is always Bob's choice. If he declines to attend, then Jill meets with Alicia anyway, and without throwing Bob under the bus or projecting what Bob's motives are, respectfully talks through the steps Jill has made so far to get things back on track. Jill approaches this from Bob's probably doing the best that he can. Something is getting in the way that's keeping him from making these commitments. In other words, Jill escalates the discovery process to Alicia because Jill has already done her due diligence in the first two conversations to discover what may be in the way of Bob delivering on this commitment. So the tone throughout this process is a collaborative one, not an accusatory one. The emphasis is on problem solving, not placing blame. What makes this work is the leader's ability to define collaborative escalation clearly, Lay out the expectations for team members to do the first 3 steps before coming to the leader for resolution. Consistent insistence on using the process, and for team members to bring a collaborative tone to the whole process. Many organizations have instituted this collaborative escalation process to great success. What it does is it lowers anxiety in the system. Now team members have a way to approach a colleague that there's a broken expectation with, and they don't have to blow up their relationship. It also gives them a way through and a way out in terms of being able to escalate to the leader, because they no longer are at a dead end if they can't get as far as they need to with their peer. So it's a win-win for both the leader and the team members.